my speech by looking at what the effects of a university student going into your community for 1 year would be. Because that is what we've made our case in today's debate. We've told you about the skills that they can use directly. They can now provide law services that wouldn't otherwise be there. They can build things that wouldn't otherwise be there. Not only that, they can teach. They can teach languages. They can teach kids how to, purify water, teach them a variety of any skills they picked up in university. Not only that, they can uplift. They can help kids find bursaries, help kids have access to education and upliftment that they previously would not otherwise have. Now, all of these things were brought up and not really contested until the end part of Sam's speech in today's debate. Their side of the debate has simply come up here and constantly told us, well, this utility doesn't justify everything. Yes, we've conceded that in today's debate. But the point is, then you should have told us how this is unreasonable. So considering you showed us how this is effective, this does uplift the community in today's debate. Now we move, this is something they have not disagreed with in today's debate. I move on to the idea of, is this a reasonable thing to ask of kids, ask of university students? Why is this reasonable? First of all, we showed you about how they've used government infrastructure. They've used roads. Their whole university is government-owned in today's debate. And we think this idea of, well, the government's just fulfilling their mandate. Yes, this is another mechanism for them to fulfill their mandate. This is a mechanism for them to make sure they get maximum utility out of the money they spend out of educating lawyers, out of educating doctors. This is government able to make some sort of gain off this, which we think is perfectly reasonable in today's debate. That's why, and this obligation is something they've conceded to. They've showed us, well, tax is fine with, so they've conceded this obligation. But ladies and gentlemen, how is this any different? And not only that, how is this not better in today's debate? I asked this in my substantive speech, the idea that you're providing your obligation, you're fulfilling your obligation that they've conceded you have to your state and your community, but you're doing it in a way that maximizes the skills that your government helped provide you with. You're doing this in a way which maximizes your as an individual's capacity to give back to your community. Because we see in South Africa, we don't have a problem as much with a lack of tax money coming in, we have a problem with a lack of skilled people delivering things to the people. We think this is the most effective way for government to maximize the utility of these people and to provide these things in an obligation that they've conceded to existing in their analysis of how tax works. So now I look at the individual as an actor in today's debate. And here I'll be this will be going over through what Josh told us about how it's so hard for them, and then what Amelia told us about what this then means for the economy. Now, we've already shown you that they gain experience within their own field. And that even if they don't, the idea is that they gain experience in terms of human interaction, in terms of getting to know people, in terms of these sort of social skills, which we think, although they laugh at, are an integral part of a person's holistic education. We heard no response to this. Secondly, the idea that they are able to excel and get recommendations that will help them in the professional world to help them move up the ladder then. Third, the idea that they have the ability to experiment. They have the ability to try new things, to try things that get them sort of fulfillment in today's debate. Now, the response to this we've seen is that, well, if they really liked doing it, well, they do it. They'd already be doing it. And as Jordash actually told you when he analyzed this issue, is the idea is that one, if so many people are doing it, what's the harm of forcing all people to do it? Two, the idea of when it gets normalized, what happens is that it's no longer seen as objectionable. Same as when I told you in my example about corporations giving back to having to do community service, about doctors having to do a year of community service, that this sort of thing simply becomes normalized. And then, now their case was kind of hung in terms of this leading to Amelia's matter about the effects a sad person has on their economy. They never actually proved to us in today's debate about how doing a year of community service, you cannot remain innovative, you cannot remain inspired, you cannot, look for other opportunities in order to advance the economy. They never proved that link in today's debate. So ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we've shown you this is a good thing for communities. We win that point. And we've shown you this is not an unreasonable thing. Thank you.